please subscribe to my channel. I didn't cut off contact with my husband because I despised him. I did it because I felt like I needed distance. At least that's how I justified it to myself. Distance to breathe. Distance to clear my head. Distance to try and enjoy a trip that had already been poisoned by months of unspoken strain. I can still picture myself inside the airport restroom, standing by the sink with my phone in my palm, reading his final text over and over. "Did you arrive okay?" There was no suspicion in it, no desperation either, just a simple check-in. And for reasons I couldn't explain, that made it hurt more. I pressed the block button, dropped my phone into my purse, and promised myself I'd reverse it once I returned. No real damage done. That was the lie I clung to. The trip was meant to reset me. At least that's what my friend insisted. "You've been married forever," one of them joked. "You need to remember who you were before him." They said it like marriage was something you could remove temporarily, like a sweater left on a chair. I didn't push back. I let them choose the cocktails, plan the outings, dominate the conversations with stories about their independence and choices. Whenever they noticed, I wasn't replying to him. I simply smiled and said, "I just need some space." No one challenged it. They never do when a woman explains it that way. The first few days felt almost euphoric. No schedules, no updates, no quiet obligations waiting back home. I slept late, wandered along the shore with sand clinging to my legs, laughed in a way I hadn't in a long time. After dark, with alcohol softening our words, they asked about my marriage. I didn't attack his character, not directly. I shared what I believed was honesty, at least my version of it. I said he'd become routine, that the excitement was gone, that sometimes I wondered how my life might have turned out if I'd made different choices. They listened, nodded, reassured me that those thoughts were normal. Their understanding made me feel justified, acknowledged. One night, stretched out alone in the hotel room, I nearly removed the block. My thumb hovered above his name. I wondered if he was asleep, if the silence comforted him or made him anxious. I convinced myself I'd explain everything later, that this separation was brief, that a solid marriage could survive a week apart. I set the phone aside and let sleep take me. The flight back passed without incident. I remember feeling strangely peaceful, as though I'd decided something internally without fully realizing what it was. While waiting at baggage claim, I unlocked my phone for the first time in days and removed the block. I expected messages to pour in all at once. They didn't. There were no voicemails, no angry words, no warm welcome home, just nothing. I told myself he was probably busy or maybe respecting the distance I'd insisted on. I sent a short text, "I'm home." The moment I stepped inside the house, something felt off. It wasn't messy. Nothing was broken. It was simply hollow in a way that felt unfamiliar. His shoes weren't near the doorway. The coat he always tossed over the chair was missing. Even the faint trace of his cologne had vanished. I stood there, longer than I care to admit, suitcase still gripped in my hand, listening. The quiet felt heavy. I moved slowly through the rooms. The kitchen looked too clean, almost staged. The refrigerator held only my food. In the bedroom, his side of the closet was completely empty. Rows of hangers sat perfectly aligned, as if they'd never supported clothes at all. That's when unease truly set in. This wasn't someone stepping out for a quick errand. This was preparation. I dialed his number, straight to voicemail. I tried again, same result. I forced myself to stay calm. Phones get lost. Batteries die. But then the smaller details stood out. His toothbrush was missing. His watch no longer rested on the nightstand. Even the framed picture from our anniversary vacation was gone, leaving a pale outline where it once sat. I lowered myself onto the bed, my pulse quickening. My mind replayed the past months, hunting for something obvious I'd overlooked. There hadn't been shouting matches or dramatic blow-ups, just emotional distance. Quiet meals. Polite exchanges. Him asking about my day. Me responding without really engaging. Him reaching for me at night, then withdrawing when my body went. Tense, I'd assumed we both understood something wasn't right. I never considered that he might be reaching conclusions of his own. On the dresser, where his keys usually lay, sat a single envelope with my name written across it in his neat, familiar handwriting. I stared at it for a long time before picking it up, dread settling deep in my chest. Whatever I believed this break was, whatever control I thought I held, had vanished. He hadn't vanished accidentally. He had chosen to leave. And in the space I thought I was taking for myself, I had given him enough room to walk away.